coming up as we continue through 2022. But of course, we got to finish up this bracket first. We have some big matchups coming our way. It is going to be our upper bracket matchup between Rusky Nerd and Noodle. And you can take a look at how we've gotten to this point so far. It's been an uphill climb for all these players, but certainly they have proven that they deserve to be in the spots that they're in.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Dak. Rusky Nerd and Noodle have been putting on an absolute clinic and absolute performance since day number one, but most specifically here since they joined a bracket. And I know we had quite a few individuals, of course, who fell a little early. Rusky Nerd and Noodle just, I mean, I'm telling you, they are just born killers. I don't know how they do it, but whatever they're doing, keep doing it, all right?
Yep, absolutely. Especially playing online, these characters are going to be so incredibly difficult to deal with, especially like a Nest, a Wii Fit Trainer. We've been seeing D2D. We've been seeing so many crazy picks in this kind of environment. It's definitely expected, and I'm expecting another awesome best of 5. I mean, Rusky Nerd just barely getting by Castelia with that 3-2, and that meant Castelia dropping down to the lower bracket to take on Davidio, which we will also be seeing right after this upper bracket matchup. So like you said, we're down to that that top 4, that nitty gritty, the last 4 players playing for that big $2,000 prize pool.
Yes, a lot of money on the line right here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break it down here. So of course we have Noodle, coming in from the Midwest, and of course we got Rusky Nerd coming in from that central time zone too, but down in the South, in the dirty South. That's right, Texas. This is actually going to be probably about a clash of two very similar metas, but very different metas. I know, the Texas scene gets down a little bit different than the Midwest scene does these days, just in terms of like how they approach the neutral, some of their exchanges back and forth. So this should be a really awesome clash with just 2 different types of ideologies coming together here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Noodle's a player that was just, had a lot slower and more methodical play with the Wii Fit trainers. We jump into this where Noodle has been mixing with the Nest. Some absolutely crazy setups, some crazy cross-ups. This guy is definitely someone that you cannot at all underestimate.
No, absolutely not. Not at this portion of the bracket. Really not ever, but especially not this late, okay? You cannot sleep on your opponent, because if they're here, then that means that they've been playing their asses off, just like how you have as well. And I think these dead even percents here just about are certainly proving that case true. Another trade, this time it not going into the favor of Wii Fit here. Usually they're the ones looking for the trade, but wow, Rusky Nerd just having their way with Noodle here in the corner.
Yeah, this is still super even. That's what you love to see. But yeah, I mean, neither player really getting too much opportunity to really fully confirm these kills off stage. Has to come through that back throw, and Rusky Nerd, I feel like at this point they have like a kill to taunt macro. Like, you have to get the taunt out. If you get the kill, at this point you gotta seize on him. I'm with that.
Yeah, I'm with it too, man. A little style goes a long way here, and I think both of these two certainly are well aware of that. Now, as we know, the age-old saying with any character in this game, once they start glowing, it's best to proceed with caution there. Noodle, of course, letting that stun salutation rip just a little early. Nothing off of the down special through the PK fire, but tries to rinse and repeat the scenario.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Ness's really solid ground tools are just outside of that, like, Wii Fit Trainer forward tilt range. So it's hard for Wii Fit to kind of counter poke back against PK fires, against these side magnet cross-ups. But once you get that deep breathing in, it's a whole nother ball game. You have a lot more potential to kill early, of course, but it just makes that offstage game a lot more volatile against the Nest. Gives you a little more opportunity to even things up here, which is exactly what Noodle is hoping for, as Noodle has the lead and doesn't want to give that up. Rusky Nerd now having some trouble getting back to the stage because they are getting absolutely sniped here by Noodle. No way!
Now, this is actually going to bring me to my next point. Earlier, we talked about how you fight Nest at this level. Don't try to beat Nest to the swing. Don't try to trade with Nest. Let Nest swing first. And I feel like Noodle was certainly doing that, but just getting there a little too late to throw up shield and then go for the punish. As you can see there at that corner of the stage, just ran up and unfortunately got done up there. So Noodle right here, of course, still keeping it airtight for the most part, trying to regain the lead, but Rusky Nerd landing with some aerials.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving Nest an opportunity to get back into things. I mean, right there, that's something that you could probably just avoid on your own. Player mistakes at this point can certainly be expected. I mean, not only is this a test of skill, it's a test of stamina and endurance, right? These players have been playing all day. They've made it this far without making too many mistakes, but now both these players might start to slip a bit here and there, and with a very, very explosive character like Nest, that might work in Rusky Nerd's favor.
That's right. We'll see how it plays out here. Gets the directional air dodge back into the ledge. Now, yes, Okay, very smart. Actually, is going to go for the up smash that time, just in case, you see that back air come out. You see Wii Fit leave those
Mhm.
feet. Of course, hit him with that silent anti-air option and close it out. So great stuff there from Rescue Nerd.
Yeah, and you can tell with Noodle was being a bit careful not to salute the stun too much, doesn't want to try to regenerate Ness's health in any kind of way. So you
Nope.
kind of limited in options. And then, of course, when you're in those close quarters situations, Wii Fit does have those weird hitboxes that might point in different directions, but don't always cover the ground or right above them. There's a lot of blind spots in those hitboxes, and that yo-yo just fit right into one of those blind spots.
100%. Great stuff. Great finesse right there from Rescue Nerd. Of course, just having to dig deep in those final moments. We Fit might not be blessed with the combo system that Nest has, but certainly blessed with the strength factor. And in moments like those, you don't want to have to go for any trades if you don't have to, especially into the corner.
Hmm.
That was really, if anything, Noodle's time to really strike, and unfortunately ended up just striking incorrectly. Rescue Nerd was able to shut it down. That's only game one, though, here, friends. If you're just tuning in and this is best of five territory.
All
Of course,
day.
yeah, quite a bit on the line here in this top four portion of bracket. So this is going to be an awesome one and on finish.
Definitely, and that could have gone either way too, right? They were both at 100%, over 100% last stock. Like, you make a different choice there in the end, and that could have easily been Noodle's game. So I'm sure Rusky Nerd wants to make sure that this is a bit more of a definitive win, and already gets the string coast to coast with those PK fires, racking up some damage. Noodle hits about 90% before healing a little bit there, but already such an incredible start here by Rusky Nerd.
That's right. And Noodle just cutting this lead directly in half, if not regaining the lead ever so slightly here by 2%. That is just kind of the factor that, Wii Fit kind of plays into this match. If you're going to combo and try to get rid of this character, you better do it quick. Oh, you better do it quick, because then stuff like that happens. Great KO off the top, a bit of a cold start. But you know what, though? They're starting to heat up here ever so slightly.
Yeah, that is just Wii Fit trainer in a nutshell, right? Like, you think you got an opportunity, you get them to 70, 89%, but they get that deep breathing down. It's 2 or 3 hits and they're right back into the game. And they can keep zoning you if you want to try to stop that. So we're going to get even things out. Both players getting their kills down. 2 stocks apiece, 0% on either side.
There it is. Got to keep it airtight right now. You cannot allow one side to gain too much of a lead here. I'm sure both of these two have the clutch factor to chop away the lead, but why even let it get that far? Let's try to keep it close. As you can see, the PK fire strings not quite work like how they did in that first stock here. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Definitely quite the punish there. Got to make sure you land that. Almost putting Ruskin at 100% here. And I like this. Ruskin still continuing to use these forward airs as poking opportunities. Of course, you saw a nice little drag down earlier, but mainly these forward airs coming out to just try and stifle these aerial approaches from Noodle. And then Ruskinerd, not sure if that was a misinput, just got a bit too shook trying to recover, but nonetheless dying a bit earlier than they were expecting.
Yeah, that is most unfortunate. This is just not the position you want to be in versus a Wii Fit of this caliber. I mean, you let this character get the lead and they just become an absolute menace. As you know right now, gonna have to dig really deep to get the stock taken. Recovers a little bit percent just to get it taken away. Glowing red, This isn't good. Yeah, this ain't good.
Right at the peak of their second jump there, and Ruskinerd taking an 0-2 loss there in the second game. And almost actually clearing themselves out. They used the PK Thunder to try and stop the ball from hitting them, but in doing so, it didn't last long enough to then get back to Nest and hit them with the Nest cannon. So in that way, they weren't able to get out of the corner. Wii Fit trainers ready and waiting, and then they get spiked as they try to recover back to the corner.
There it is. Love that breakdown there. At this, I just feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of prowess that has to go into dealing with Nest off stage. I think people think, okay, he's just sitting here or he's already jumped, so now's my time to strike. Keep in mind, has a really great directional air dodge. Of course, PK Thunder, even as it's going around Nest, still not the easiest feat in the world to get in between the Thunder and Nest. So, you really have to dig deep. And of course, Noodle's certainly living up to that. However, Rusty Nerd, though, this is game 3, so let's see what they learned from that last one. Okay, great down tilt. Down air? Oh!
Almost got to taste their own medicine there. That was really scary. I mean, both of them, this is all full trade right here. Like, neither of them are trying to necessarily bait or whiff punish anything. They're just trying to throw hands and see if they can come out on top in these trades. But when you have deep breathing come into the mix, that can really more so work in Wii Fit trainers' advantage than anything else here. And Nest really does have to be careful from dying a little too early and getting a little crazy with these pokes.
That's right. I mean, it's not out of character, for Nest to get very button happy on characters out of slower, than they are. But I feel like in Rescue Nerd's case, there's a lot of finesse that goes into the buttons that they press. As you can see there, gets the up smash, catching them once more. Another solid anti-air option. You know, Wii Fit Trainer likes to jump. They're going to spend a lot of time off of their feet, make them pay for it.
Whew. Just like that, another even game. This is what we saw pretty much last round, game 2 is evened up after that first stock, and it really can go either way. But now Rusty Nerd's the one who's running away with it this time. Noodle really hasn't been able to land here, and trying to get back, they're taking so much damage just to reset neutral.
Fighting to get those feet back onto solid ground. Gets up underneath Nest there that time, right before the PK Thunder comes around. And this is one thing I really love about Noodle, despite, you know, again, Nest just doing what Nest is going to do to bigger characters, putting on a lot of percent and just slapping them around. Always staying composed, always staying cool, and knowing what options to go for to try to keep this thing close. There's the back throw. Let's see what Rescuer is going to turn it into. No platforms to land comfortably on, and it seems like Noodle is very well aware of that. Oh, delicious.
Yep, gonna take that any day. And Noodle just trying to keep things up, but Rusky Nerd somehow comes out on top of that. That was just not I think Noodle just overextending a bit too much there, trying to get that kill done, and again, evening things out. It's one stock apiece, and this could really be a definitive portion of this series, right? Because Noodle going back to this stage, and Rusky Nerd allowing themselves to go back to the stage they just lost on. Now things are tied up.
That's right. This is, I mean, these are the matches you sign up for. You know, when you say, you know, you want to pull up to a tournament, you want to see good matches, these are the ones that keep you in your seat. Oh my goodness. Noodle, though, trying to push this into another game, but with the W next to their name and doing it in such a dominant fashion, going up 2-1.
That was so smart by Noodle, forcing Rusky Nerd to burn all their options just to recover, but in doing so, Rusky Nerd had to recover low, in which case Wii Fit Trainer's down tilt can hit below the ledge against that low recovery. So that's just some great conditioning and force of a situation by Noodle, and Rusky Nerd feeling the pain as a result is now they are on a potential drop to lower bracket if they drop one more game.
Yeah, this is most unfortunate here for Rescue Nerd, but if there's a will, there's most certainly a way. I still think that a lot of what Rescue Nerd is doing, you know, is certainly keeping them alive in this fight, but however, it's not enough to just stay alive. You also have to win, and, you know, the combo system that Rescue Nerd is implementing on Noodle has been very, very good. I mean, it's like, yo, PK Fire, use your magnet, get through there, you know, really abuse the fact that, you know, Weepa just has a big body, but I don't know what it is that Noodle's doing, but Noodle just knows how to take your lead and just take it away from you.
Well, one thing I'm noticing is, especially against like Nest, Noodle is not at all afraid of getting in grab range against Nest, where normally a lot of players might be afraid. They don't want to get PK fired or something. They might be afraid of that up B instead. But Noodle has, in general, been doing a good job of landing those grabs in those close quarter situations. It's just that, in that case, that's a completely different problem you got to deal with. And dying so early to Nest there, now Noodle has a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, and this is the issue here that, you know, Rescue Nerd has been struggling with a little bit here. And I say this despite them also having the lead, is that when they get the lead, they just don't know how to hold on to it. And then Noodle is able to just come in and just really, again, throw their weight around with Wii Fit. But in this case here, kind of cooling their jets a little bit, staying a little bit further away, really relying on their PK Fire, you know, spacing out with that turnaround F smash, just trying to catch an overextension.
Yep. That's Noodle getting the best of that cross-up situation, playing a little baseball right there. Flies back, PK Fire, will keep him at bay, but there's the jab to get some stage control. Rusky Nerd gets right back into it, still almost a full stock lead here. Noodle really has to start generating some more offense and just make it impossible for Rusky Nerd to get back on stage. Otherwise, this could be another death.
Yeah. Gonna have to bring some to this table and quick. This match is just starting to trail out of control here. Gonna go for the up smash. Not gonna be enough, but wow, is that a lot of percent. Now, we fit at 60-something% while you still have, you know, all three of your stocks and they're on too. That's still, you know, certainly doable. That's very comfortable and familiar terrain for Wii Fit. However, situations like this, now you gotta work a little harder. You gotta kind of step out of your shell and, dare I say with Wii Fit, get a little aggressive.
Yeah, Noodle just really has to be careful of spending too much time off stage trying to recover, you know, delaying with deep breathing, using their side B. Like, that's when Nest can just jump right out, double jump and forward air you, and immediately try to poke at you. Like, Nest is not at all going to be afraid to do that. So Noodle does have to be careful of spending too much time stalling off stage.
Back though. PK Thunder, just to try to pop them up and keep them away from snapping back to the ledge. Forcing Wii Fit to go high is not what they want to do, and Nest certainly has the tools to keep them in an uncomfortable spot.
Oh, that back air again, landing for Rusky Nerd. Big damage, big stage control. Again, walling out Noodle with that forward air. Noodle is unable to figure out how to get around that move, and now they're going to get clipped. Yeah, that yo-yo is ready and waiting for him. The welcome mat was more than thrown out ahead of time, and we're going to a game 5 here, Rod. Love to see it.
Love to see it. No 3-0s here. And I'm just being as completely as unbiased as possible, but we want to see more games, and especially with two talented individuals like Noodle and Rescue Nerd. I mean, they're of course putting on a great show, making Dak and myself our jobs very, very easy. So, with this in mind, here we are, friends. Game number 5 is upon us. Ness and Wii Fit would never have thought in a million years that these would be the two characters to do it in a position of bracket like this. But hey, I like a bit of a break from the norm. All right, I'm digging the Wii Fit play.
And this must be maybe potentially getting to Rusky too, right? Like, that said, in this situation, Rusky just came off of a 3-2 win off of Castelia as well. So they've been here before. They know how to play that game 5. So will they be able to come out on top? Noodle just took a 3-0 and has been mostly dominating their opponents. I don't think they've even played a 3-2 set yet, except maybe the very first round they played Grimbo 3-2. Since then, it's been 3-1s, 3-1, 3-0. And now Rusky Nerd really taking him to task here.
Right, into the corner we go, and this again another comfortable spot right here for Rescue Nerd. Regardless if they are the one that has their back into the corner, if they're the one keeping you in the corner, they don't mind playing from the corners at all. And yes, swinging for the fences is a Rescue Nerd once more with that phenomenal Nest gameplay. He's looking very clean right now, forcing Noodle to get a little uncomfortable here, has to get a little handsy with Nest, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm talking base roster, DLC, whatever you want. Nest just got some buttons on him.
Yeah, and when Nesta's starting to control the pace of the game, you can really tell that they're going to use that to their advantage. You can see Noodle is being a lot more proactive at trying to ledge trap, trying to go off stage. And snipe all the way in the top corner there. Again, evening things out around this 2 stock portion. But here's Rusky Nerd going in deep. The string continues, although it's got the read with the forward smash. But still continue to put pressure here on Noodle as they're backed up. They're shielding. They're trying to create some pressure and some space for themselves. But Rusky Nerd is not giving them an inch.
Oh, and great stall. Love that. Understanding the imminent threat of down smash at the legend. This is exactly what I talked about before. It's not enough for Rescue to get the lead. You also have to figure out a way to hold on to it and to stop your opponent from making that comeback, because Wii Fit, I mean, not saying that Noodle's relying on the comeback mechanics, but Wii Fit has some strong comeback mechanics, as you can see, getting right up underneath a Rescue Nerd and going for the up smash. Won't be able to survive too many more of those. Oh my God, that back air.
Still not enough. And then again, Rusky catching that neutral jump there that Noodle's willing to give up. And Noodle really just trying to create opportunities for themselves, but in doing so, they're taking so much damage. There's another back throw, somehow able to get back, but now a full stock lead, and Rusky looking to clean things up. Needs a single grab, another forward air off stage. A back air will certainly do it, and Noodle just cannot get hit at all. Oh, there's the back air, and that is it. Rusky takes it. They're moving on to grand finals. They take that series 3-2.
That's right, and a nail-biting finish, but again, it goes back to kind of what we talked about earlier, just the anti-air, not really just anti-airing, but just the air movement manageability. I think, just when it came to every time Wii Fit left their feet, Rescue Nerd was like, hey, if you're going to jump, it at least has to be contested. I can't let you keep jumping around me for free. That is, I'm basically asking to get sent down to losers at that point.
No, you're 100% right. You even saw that last stock. Every time the Wii Fit trainer was jumping, Nest with the back air, Nest with the forward air, Nest with the side magnet, something to contest that. And that's going to come, that's going to happen because Noodle's trying to generate kill opportunities for themselves and not allowing Nest just freely get back to the stage. So you could see that was taken advantage of, and Noodle, unfortunately, falling to the wayside and dropping down to the lower bracket. But they're not out of it. We're still in that top 4, and they're going to continue to move forward. But we're going to move forward into some replays to see how that action was broken down.
Let's relive the glory right there, that last second. There's a lot to talk about. First and foremost, again, running up and just shielding. Nest, there's a very specific way you have to fight this character if you cannot outframe that of them, and it comes down to letting them swing first, but unfortunately did not have shield up in time, made a PK missile for their trebles. However, it felt like, Noodle was certainly starting to come into themselves. I love that down air off stage. But of course, if you're jumping around Nest too much, you're going to eat the yo-yo.
Yeah. And I really like that Rusky did not, wasn't swayed in terms of stage picks, right? Like, we got to FD and we didn't leave it, despite the fact that Noodle, I believe, won that first game on FD. Rusky comes back and continues to play on this stage. Noodle, though, I mean, this ledge trap here was so clean.
That was just great resilience. I mean, wow. Didn't even think that they'd be able to rinse and repeat that situation, but was able to get it done in a big way. And then, of course, boom, gets the down smash at the ledge, send him out into the blast zone. And here we are, the final game here, friends. And I mean, I got to give it to Noodle. That precision, second to none. I mean, that's a lot of practice that goes into that. But however, we've all fallen victim to Ness back here once or twice in our life. So, that's how it goes.
More than once and twice, I would definitely say, Ron. More than once
Yeah.
and twice, yeah. A little bit more than that. But yeah, we now have our first of two players in grand finals, Rusky Nerd, now potentially in a position to take that top prize, first place, $1,000. At the very least, they're getting 500 for second place. So that's guaranteed money right now. Of course, the top four is already guaranteed. Third place getting 250, fourth place getting 150. So at this moment in time, all these players, now they're just playing extended money matches, right? Like they're just trying to stack up that cash, and I can't blame him. Noodle, of course, still has an opportunity to get back, but Rusky Nerd already walking away with at least $500. That's pretty solid so far.